Hey everyone, I've posted a few Ticket to Ride videos to YouTube already, which have shown me completing a number of challenges on the digital version, and you can see kind of in the bottom here it shows 20 out of 20 challenges complete. That's on the USA Classic map, and that's the map we're going to have a quick playthrough today. As it says on the right, Ticket to Ride Asia, you can buy that from the shop. You can buy the physical board game, the same as you can with the USA one. We can see the maps in the digital game here. I've got the what's called the First Class add-on pack, and that gives me all of these maps to play and all of these different variants and rules. But today we're going to focus on the classic USA map, just the original one. Excuse me. So we'll go to the game to play, and many of you may well already sort of understand this or have played similar sort of games, if not other Ticket to Ride variants. But I'm going to kind of just start right from the beginning for people who may not have seen this at all, and just do a walkthrough as to how you play the game and just some general strategies. So before I kind of go into it, we can see we've got a number of cards. So we've got 3 cards at the bottom here that we were dealt. That's from this pile here, which are the destination tickets. And we've got a pack of cards here, which are sort of cards that we sort of play with and lay down track with. And you can see we've got 5 in the middle. These are the sort of visible ones that either player can select from, but you can equally pick blind from the pack, and we'll go into that shortly. So the objective of the game is to score the most number of points, and there's a number of ways you can achieve that. First of all, you can see there's some numbers at the bottom here on each of the cards, 7, 6 and 17 respectively, and that tells you the number of points you will achieve at the end of the game. These are added to your existing in-game score at the end, and it's based on the track that you lay. So if you can lay track between Portland and Nashville, as highlighted on the map in green up here, it's now gone blue as I've hovered away from it, Portland over here to Nashville, so several ways to achieve that. You could go from Portland down Salt Lake City, across to Denver, up to Kansas City, to St. Louis and Nashville. You could do a similar route, but when you get to Denver, you could maybe go up to Omaha, and then maybe up to Chicago, maybe up to Pittsburgh, and then kind of down to Nashville that way. Maybe you go around the map, around the bottom, maybe you go around the top. Loads and loads of different ways. You can see lots of tracks intersect each other, and we'll talk about how you lay the track soon. So if you do manage to lay a continuous track in any manner between Nashville and Portland by the end of the game, with this destination ticket selected, you'll get 17 additional points. For New York to Atlanta, 6, and Chicago to New Orleans, 7. Now it's interesting because if I were to pick, well, first of all, I can't just have Portland to Nashville. It's red. If I click it says choose one more. I need at least 2 out of the 3 that I'm dealt. You get dealt 3 tickets to begin with. If in the game you choose to use your turn to pick additional tickets, again you'll be dealt 3 tickets, but you'll have to retain at least one of them. Again, you can retain 2 or 3. So why might I pick some of these different routes? Well, Portland to Nashville gives me the most amount of points. It also takes the most amount of track. So there's a direct correlation between this number here, 45, the number of trains that you've got, and the length of track. So each of these kind of tracks are kind of cut up into segments. This one's into segments of 6, so it would be worth 6 train pieces, and also correspondingly 6 cards. So where we have 6 blue pieces here, I would need in my hand 6 blue cards, and as a go I could lay those 6 blue cards, and in doing so exchange those for 6 pieces of train and claim that particular length between Portland and Salt Lake City. That would take my my tally of 45 trains, obviously down to 39. And ultimately, we're going to get to the end of the game when a player has 2 or fewer trains, then it becomes the last go. So, if you had 6 trains in your hand, you played 5, you were left with 1, a little bell will go, you've only got 1 piece left, time to play the last hand per person. And when you play a hand, that can either be, as I said, selecting tickets from up here, that's a go. Laying track is a go. And also is selecting cards. And there's 2 ways to select cards. If you select from the centre, you can select 2 coloured pieces. So I could have orange and black, or blue and orange, or blue and black, or black and black. And I can have 2 of those. If I select one of these 3 cards, immediately that little joker train, little locomotive, it will go slightly indented towards the right to say that it's no longer eligible for me to select. I can only pick 2 colour cards, or as my go, I could just pick 1 joker card straight from the centre. Now, what I could also do is pick cards from the deck blind, and as long as I'm picking from the deck, I'll always get 2 cards. So if I click, and if I clicked it here when we were playing, a card would shoot into my hand, which would be held over here. In fact, you can see at the bottom what I'm going to start with: 2 green, 1 blue, 1 white. And you'll always get 2 cards. If you click it twice, get 2 cards. It doesn't matter if both of those are joker locomotive trains, or if one of them or none of them are. And likewise, if you pick blind to begin with as your first card, it doesn't matter whether it's a colour card or a joker card, you're still eligible to pick 1 other card from the middle stack, with the exception of you can't pick the joker. As soon as you have 1 card in your hand, you're no longer eligible to pick a joker from the centre. So I'll play a game and you'll kind of see it. It'll make a lot more sense to visually see it. You'll notice that some of these pieces of track have got kind of double widths rather than single. Double widths with multiple colours mean that you can play it either as, in this case, San Francisco to Salt Lake City, orange, or as white. And because there's only myself and 1 other opponent, once one of these routes are claimed, the other one is no longer available. In a multiplayer game with 3 or 4 players, once someone claims, say, the orange route, another player could claim the white route. Now you're not allowed to claim both and block someone in that manner, but there are plenty of ways to block your opponent if should you choose to do so. If you see that your opponent is going towards Santa Fe, perhaps they're building from Calgary to Santa Fe, and they put a length of 4 trains here and 4 here, you could put a length of 2 trains here and stop them. They might then want to go round one of the peripheries, but if you then put a train length there and a train length, El Paso there, and 1 for Oklahoma, you can completely stop your opponent from getting to Santa Fe. Personally, I think that's quite wasteful, because you'll be using, let's have a look, 2 trains here, 2 trains here, 3 there, 3 there. So to block that 1 piece of route, you'll be using 4 goes at least, because you can only lay 1 piece of track per go, and also 10 pieces of track, which is an awful lot. And also those 10 pieces of track are small pieces. So again, going back to how you can get points, if I zoom into the map, at the bottom right we've got a key, and the key shows you that if you lay a piece of track like Houston to New Orleans, which is 2 lengths, you'll get 2 points. If you're more adventurous and want to lay 4 points, New Orleans to Atlanta, those 4 lengths will get you 7 points. And if you go for something like a 6 length piece, like Miami to New Orleans, you'll get 15 points. When you lay those tracks, you do need to have, obviously, the colours as mentioned. So you'll need 6 red cards in your hand, or 4 orange in respect to New Orleans and Atlanta. There is an exception, and that is the joker cards. The jokers can substitute for any colour. So, for example, you could have in your hand, say, 4 red cards but 2 joker cards. You can play those 2 jokers as 2 of the reds that you actually need. And of course, that's one of the strategies to kind of know when to play your joker cards, when to hold them back for when you might need them. You can play them as your entire move. You could play Houston to New Orleans as 2 joker cards if you so desired. The grey ones here, for example, so grey, Houston to New Orleans, it means you can use any coloured cards. It still has to be a set. You can't play an orange and a blue, but you could play an orange and an orange, or 2 blues. And likewise, one of the other things, when you do lay track, you can't part lay. So if I want this black track between Los Angeles and El Paso, I can't put 2 black cards and 2 black pieces down there and wait for my next turn. I have to lay all 6, so I have to stack my cards. So let's have a look to see what we've got. So we've got Portland to Nashville, so I think I'm going to attempt that. It's worth 17 points. I think I'm going to attempt New York to Atlanta because it's quite close there as well. I'm not actually. I'm not going to do Chicago to New Orleans. I'm going to leave that one. So just those 2. And I think during the game I'm going to see if I can get some additional track that maybe has routes going through this centre here, because that means I might be able to quite cheaply just add a segment of track here and there, join up stuff I've already laid, and sort of gain some additional points at the end. When you do lay your cards, as per this key at the bottom, you'll get those points straight away. When you complete a track, you'll get those points at the end. So, I think, without further ado, I will play a game and you can see exactly what I mean. And I'll just kind of interject where it's kind of important, maybe strategic. Other than that, I'll just kind of very quickly go through. So I'm going to choose these 2 cards and off we go. I go first. Okay. Okay, note, I've taken a black card there. The 2 jokers that were in the centre and indented, I can't select those. It should go back ready for my next move. Normally we wouldn't be stacking this much, but for some reason we are. I've now got 4 orange. I could have put black there, but I thought actually as I was building quite a lot of those up, I'll save those for this long length down here, which I don't need yet, but it's 15 points right off the cuff, plus it often links in with other things. What I'm trying to do is get this kind of blue section here. So in the centre here I can use blue or pink. Obviously I want to get these blues here, so I'm going to use my kind of pink to do that. So I think Marg's going to go between down this route here. Now I could block the green, but I think it might be sorry, that's my route. I think she's going to try and join something up here to these here. So I could kind of block something here, I could block something up here, but I'm not going to. I don't want to waste my trains doing that, although I might. Yeah, I think I might put a piece of track there, because if I can join these 2 up, it might help a bit later on. I just need to select some colour that might be useful. So I've used the long length of black there. I didn't need it for that. I don't think I need that anytime soon, so I'm going to put that one there. Now I could have used it for that. I could have bridged across there to save me getting 5 greens, I could do 3 black and 2 white, but I think I'm going to save up for the green, or maybe the yellow, and across there. I mean, that's something I could very quickly do. The greens aren't coming out. I could pick those 2 yellows and use them for that. Yeah, also if I pick the yellows and don't, I've got a couple more in my hand for if I want to play that piece of track instead of the blue. So let's do that. And here's the blue that we wanted. Typical. So we've got 5 blue, 6 blue. Okay, I was debating whether or not I wanted to lay a locomotive there. So I think I'll take that green. And I think I'm going to lay a joker. So I've only got 4 green, but I've got 3 jokers, and I want that 5. I think I'm going to do that. Now I could have laid the yellow. I already had 4, but I thought I'd go for a few more points. I think I get 10, just about see it, 10 for that. So we'll see. So realistically, I think in 2 more moves I can complete the track I have. We've got 16. She's got 16 trains left. I've got 15. I think I might get a few more cards. First of all, I'm just going to play this 1 red. Okay, let's risk it. What can we get? Boston to Miami. Don't really want to do that because I'd need 5 blues to get down there, or 4 pinks. It's good scoring, and I only need 2 to get up there. But I think it's quite late in the game, and there's only 13 pieces left. She's obviously got a lot in her hand. I think I'll leave that one. What have we got? Well, this is a good one. Montreal to Atlanta. If I select that one, I'm already going there. I'm going to link that track up. So I just need 3 bits of blue, and that's 9 points. And look at this one. New York to Seattle, 22 points. All it's going to cost me is just 1. So we're going to pick those 2. The first one I'm going to do is that, because if we get to the end of the game or I get blocked there, that's 22 points I would lose. So let's select those. So what colours do we want to use? Well, I'm going to use 2 up there. So if I use the 2 white there and 1 white there, that's 3. So let's do that. Remember, I get these points at the end of the game. So that's kind of going to be a healthy score, I think. Down to the last 9. So I need 3 blue. I've only got 2 jokers, but this will give me my 3rd. Can't select that, don't need it. Let's see what's in here. Okay. I've got 11 pieces left. What can I do? I might keep stacking, because ultimately I'm going to use 3. That'll leave me with 8. There's a blank piece up here that, as long as I can get 6 of the same colour, that's 15 points. In fact, I've got 4 purple, pink, and there's 6 there. So what I might do is try and get 6 there. Let's grab those quickly. And this should finish the game. Fortunately, I've got 2 greys there. In fact, I'm going to leave those for now. Let's link those 2 grey ones up there. So that will leave me with 3 pieces left. You can see at the bottom right, I'll move away in a minute, but I've got 5 pieces. As I hover over, you'll see it shows 2 pieces to play. That would leave me with 3. And obviously I need 3 at the end, so I'm going to put those in there. And there we go. Now that I've got 2 or fewer cards, it's the last turn. So my turn. I could pick a couple more cards. It's a little bit greedy, because if I do pick 3 cards and they're all high value and I can't use any of them, they're going to get subtracted from my score. I don't really want that, so I'm just going to randomly pick 2 cards. Okay, interesting. We both started at 82, but you can see I had 4 cards and I did complete them all, so, and 2 of them were very long, so this should be a pretty simple win. Okay, you can see the longest continuous route was Marg, so she'll get 10 points for that. But still not enough to catch me. So hope that tutorial was helpful for players that are maybe new to Ticket to Ride. I think it's a fantastic game. It's great to play with friends and family on the physical board game. It's also a great game to play against the computer opponent. I've got a few videos where in the digital version I've completed some of the challenges that are laid out. There'll be challenges such as getting a particular score on a particular map, or going over a particular route on a particular map, or picking certain pieces. And I'll go through in another video about the different maps and things like that. But yeah, I hope you found this useful, and if you did, and you want to watch some of the other videos, hopefully you'll find those interesting too. Thank you for watching.